Good morning, and welcome to Cape Henry Collegiate's first ever drive-in commencement. This, of course, for the outstanding class of 2020. Please remain in your vehicles and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now hear a recording of this year's upper school choral group performing the Cape Henry Collegiate alma mater.
Now here's to you, Cape Henry, we lift our voices strong, with words of adoration, to last our whole lives long, through years of changing faces, the Spirit remains true. We love to sing your praises, Cape Henry, here's to you. To you, Cape Henry, we lift our voices strong, with words of adoration, to last our whole lives long, through years of changing faces, the Spirit remains true. We love to sing your praises, Cape Henry, here's to you.
So, for all of you, I did make the decision to do the full regalia here today, so it's sort of like Dumbledore at the beach, but I do have flip-flops, so it's going to get a little warm, but I think for the rest of you, hopefully dress casually today, and also I hear all those cars running, so just enjoy your air conditioning in there while some of us sweat out here. We are excited to welcome you this morning. It has been a bit of a journey to get here. So the bloody coronavirus scrapped our first commencement plan. A governor's decision, rightfully so, just last week to tighten safety and health guidelines, scrapped our second commencement plan. A tropical storm that slammed our area just the other evening tried to scrap our third commencement plan. But none of it stopped us from coming together in order to celebrate you, the class of 2020, even though we are doing it in a truly unique way today. This commencement has been a long time coming, and so today I cannot tell you how happy I am to see you, well, to kind of see you through those tinted windows out there, to see you and to welcome you back to the Cape Henry campus so that we can recognize you as a class and we can properly send you off as graduates of this institution. On March 13th, yes, it was a Friday the 13th, I announced that we would be closing our campus. As seniors, your year was cut short. That evening, I watched incredible performances at Cabaret, and then the Dreyfus went dark. The next day, Saturday, our baseball team took advantage of its last opportunity to practice, and I watched a marathon scrimmage of Cape versus Cape. Then we closed our fields. Between then and now, you entered the world of Zoom and have experienced a final senior semester like no one before you. And I know that it has presented challenges. There are experiences that you lost, and there are experiences that you had to settle for a virtual alternative. And now you face the uncertainty of what your upcoming freshman year might look like. It is for these reasons that it has been our mission here at Cape Henry to see this commencement take place today. It has been a driving goal. You deserve today. You deserve to be back on this campus with your classmates. We couldn't leave it as goodbye on March 13th. And let me also say, as you look out of your car window and maybe think about how odd this event seems, I can tell you this, and I bet you your parents can tell you the same, and the faculty and the staff. Many of us struggle to remember our graduations. I suspect you will remember yours. Today we will hear from some of your peers. Stephanie, our Salutatorian, and Ava, our Valedictorian. Also, Mr. Scott McGraw, upper school history teacher, has been chosen by the students to speak to you. Then, in one of my final acts as your head of school, it will be my job to ask Mr. Atherton, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, to award diplomas to you in recognition of your achievements. Also today, the awarding of diplomas will be a little different. We provided all of you with a Cape Henry mask, and we ask that you wear it today. And also, take it to college with you. You'll need it for a little while. Also, you have a lei made of fresh red and white flowers. As many of you know, the lei symbolizes the affection that one has for another, presented often at times of welcome, goodbye, and celebration. This year, it seemed perfectly appropriate because we welcome you back to campus, we say goodbye, and we celebrate you. So please wear that as well. If you haven't already got it on, make sure you wear that also when you come to get your diploma. So before we move on with this program, let me thank our Board of Trustees, under the leadership of Mr. Atherton, for their commitment and their dedication to Cape Henry. Also, as a little quick direction for how today works, I will ask you at certain times to judiciously use your horn in those places where you would usually applaud. So, let's test that. I ask you to please join me as they watched via the live stream in recognizing those who have taught you, coached you, and mentored you. Please honk for the faculty and the staff of Cape Henry Collegiate. Today, we celebrate a commencement. It is the single most important rite of passage in the life of a school. It marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of the next. And as you consider your time at Cape Henry, and then think about where you're headed next, it is exciting to think about how young you are and to anticipate the many opportunities in front of you. You will have so many choices to make as you pursue those opportunities around education, work, family, love, and life. I ask you to make those choices in a spirit of kindness, humility, and care for others. At times, some people fail to act in that spirit. Instead, they allow division, fear, ignorance, and at times hate to creep into their lives. They make decisions to treat others as less valued or respected simply because of their race or simply because of their national background or because of their income or their religion or because of whom they choose to love. At my age, it is disheartening to see this continue. It seems like it should have ended, but discrimination seems to be much stronger and persistent than some of us might have assumed. So I turn to you and to your generation. In college, work, life, and love, just accept people on their own accomplishments and on their own merits. The world is changing, but it's reluctant to do so at times. And all of you are needed. All of us are needed in order to make it a better place. So regardless of college, career, and other life pursuits, living a moral and a good life, committed to recognizing everyone's integrity, will make you happier and it will make you a better human being. And so on to this graduation. Today, what I present to all of you, our assembled guests, is a class, a group of individuals who have come together as one and who have shared the same school community, the same school family, the same home. And as with any family, they have laughed together, they have argued, fought, and cried. They have defended state championships. They have amazed us from the stage. They have led and challenged younger students to be better. They have earned cum laude and National Honor Society. They have journeyed across this country and the world with our Nexus program. They have each selected a college where they will continue to challenge themselves academically, inside and outside of the classroom, while building new friendships that should last a lifetime. And so, this class is ready to graduate, to transition into their new role as alumni in this community, to go forward, to travel far, to return, to visit with us, to live well, and to do good. So families, thank you for trusting in Cape Henry Collegiate and allowing us to know your children and to know you. Thank you for making this place a part of your family's journey. So graduates, thank you for allowing us to work with you, to teach you and coach you, to travel with you. Thank you, class of 2020, for everything that you have done to make Cape Henry a better place. As you have helped us, I hope that we have helped you. And now, we prepare for you, our assembled seniors, in your respective cars, to commence tomorrow with the next leg of your journey. Thank you. And it is now my pleasure and honor to introduce your salutatorian, Mrs. Stephanie Strickland. I'm presenting Stephanie with the Salutatorian Medal. And because of physical distancing, I will simply leave it on the podium for her. Stephanie will be attending Clemson next year. Welcome, Stephanie.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Strickland, and I'm honored to be the class of 2020's Salutatorian. I want to start by thanking the parents, faculty, and friends who are here today to support our class as we graduate, and to give a special thanks to those who are watching virtually. If you would have told me in 2008, when I stepped into the lower school for the first time, that a global pandemic would cut my senior year short, I would have never believed you. Granted, I didn't know the word pandemic as a kindergartner. To my classmates, I know this is not how we pictured the culmination of our senior year. On our last first day, we walked down the aisle of the Dreyfus to take our seats in the front row at convocation. During the ceremony, I reminisced on my 12 years here at Cape Henry, fondly recalling my favorite memories. I thought about the future as well, anticipating all of the exciting things this year would hold, like prom, senior assassin of course, and spending my last days as a high schooler alongside my peers. While the loss of our second semester is unfortunate, our class now shares a unique connection. Although we didn't experience many of our final memories together in person, our grade is arguably closer because we are bonded through adversity. We will always remember the Zoom calls that took up most of our days, and of course, the assemblies where we listened to gifted performers who brightened our spirits. Nevertheless, we have learned a lot from the current global situation. Our class has shown extreme resiliency in the face of difficult times. I will take this lesson from Cape Henry along with many others. When school was first canceled in March, I will admit, at first I was ecstatic. With thoughts of warmer weather and beach days ahead, I wasn't eager to return. However, I quickly realized I missed not only socializing, but also learning in person. I'll never forget, when I was 10, my parents invited a couple over for dinner. When we sat down to eat, I listened as they talked back and forth, fascinated by the adult conversation. When I heard my dad contradict himself, I quickly corrected him, prompting him to say, "She listens to everything and soaks it up like a sponge." I've carried this mantra with me throughout my 12 years here and realized I do enjoy learning. I remember meeting Mrs. Lonergan, our lower school writing coach, and wanting to understand how to write imaginative and elaborate stories. I remember memorizing vocabulary words and definitions with Abby Trinidad in 4th grade and racing to see who could finish faster. I remember being fascinated by learning how our body recognizes pathogens in Mrs. Moore's biology class. However, I've realized that true knowledge does not simply come from studying. I have a massive amount of respect for my peers, as each one of our learning experiences has been unique, making us a diverse community. Take Sarah Blaze, for example. The time she has spent memorizing ballet technique is beyond impressive. Or Colby Kassir, who has found such success in wrestling that he will continue at Virginia Tech. Other peers have put what they've learned to use by developing a business at a young age. Riley Beers, for example, has utilized her skills in photography to capture pictures better than many adults. Landon Clay, with his natural charisma and strong work ethic, co-founded a lucrative landscaping business. Looking out at all the familiar faces, I'm proud to be part of a class who each capitalize on their individual talents to shape our community. Nowadays, education is too closely associated with solely academic learning. Many of us will step foot onto a college campus this fall and continue our academic careers, but we need to remember that learning extends beyond the classroom, and expanding one's knowledge in any aspect makes him or her a better person. Whether it's listening to someone different from you and gaining a new perspective in college, training for a half marathon with your spouse, or learning how to speak a new language at the age of 70, we need to continue to enrich our minds for the rest of our lives. It's not enough to settle for just getting by. We are the future, and our generation needs to strive for greatness and growth as a society. Learning keeps us young. It allows us to connect with others and to maintain sharp minds. We must keep learning, reaching, and growing. To the class of 2020 and everyone in attendance, I hope you recognize when you have the opportunity to broaden your horizons and use it to enrich not only your life, but the community by which you're surrounded. Thank you. At this time, Dr. Guerin will present Ava Maeger with the Salutatorian Medal, and then we will hear her remarks. Ava will be attending the University of Virginia in the fall. Congratulations, Ava.
Again, I'll be simply leaving the Salutatorian Medal for Ava here on the podium as she joins us to present her Salutatorian remarks.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the senior class of 2020, welcome and thank you all for being here today to celebrate with us. Whether you're in a car or watching online, we appreciate your unwavering support. Looking back on the last 13 years of our education, there are a lot of people who helped us get here today. First, thank you to our teachers. I speak for my entire class when I say that we are grateful to have had some of the best educators in our area. In preparation for this speech, I asked a couple friends what they love most about the faculty at Cape Henry. Everyone agreed that the teachers here genuinely want to see their students succeed and build relationships with them. This year especially, I'm grateful to have had teachers who rose to the occasion to create engaging, creative solutions to online learning. No other class had the opportunity to learn literature with babies napping in the background or see labs conducted in living rooms. When I think back to my senior year, I'll remember the teacher who had held additional weekly Zoom sessions just so we could chat, or the teacher who's still hosting trivia meetings this far into summer. I'll remember the performances by the faculty band and the entertaining assemblies. All of these are things that demonstrate the awesome effort our teachers put into making our senior year special. For that, we thank you. Additionally, I would be remiss if I did not thank the various other departments that have made our time at CHC so memorable. Thank you to College Counseling for making the transition from high school to university easy and approachable. We would be lost without you. Thank you to Maintenance for allowing us to learn on such a beautiful, clean campus. Thank you to the cafeteria staff for keeping us going on hard days with fuel for our bodies and a smile to lift our spirit. Thank you to security for keeping us safe, and thank you to everyone else who worked behind the scenes. We would not be here today without you. Lastly, but most importantly, thank you to our parents, grandparents, siblings, and anyone else who helped raise us. You all were our first teachers. You taught us how to read our first books, helped us memorize multiplication tables, and then sat with us when the math got too hard and we had to do our homework on our own. Everything we've achieved thus far is a testament to the love and support you all have given us our whole lives. So thank you. Now to my fellow classmates. You all deserve a thanks as well, because being a part of this class has been a gift. These past few months, there's been moments in which I wished I was 1 year older or 2 years younger, then maybe my senior year would have been normal. But ultimately, I would not trade anything for the ability to be a part of this particular group. Totaling only 76 students, we're one of the smaller classes in Cape Henry's history, but don't be fooled. Despite our size, I can confidently say that this group of students in front of me is extraordinary. Every day in the classroom, I've been impressed by the strength, kindness, determination, and resilience of my classmates. In the last few months in particular, our resilience has been tested. But in times of crisis, we're given the opportunity to practice grace, something I think my classmates have done exceptionally well. Despite all the disappointments of a year cut short, the bond between this class has not faltered, but instead strengthened through the shared struggle. From the time I set foot on this campus, I have been met with a welcoming community of friends whose loyalty and dependability is constant. This is the place where you can have the same set of friends your entire time here, yet also somehow make a new friend every year. And that community did not go away when quarantine began. It simply adapted to the circumstances. The senior lounge became virtual, and study sessions were done on FaceTime, but our friendships persisted. That's because the bonds we made here at Cape Henry are lasting. I'm sure everyone's heard the old adage, it takes a village. Look around, this is our village. To end, today is a day for both reflection on our last 13 years of education, as well as a day to look towards the future with excitement. Personally, as I pack my bags to head off to college and start the next chapter, I'll think back on my time at Cape Henry and the lessons that I learned here. As we go forth, I urge you all to do the same. I'll leave you with a few pieces of parting advice. When faced with challenges, show grace, look for the silver lining, and remember that this community will always be there for you. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2020. I love you guys. We will now hear from our student-selected faculty speaker, Mr. Scott McGraw.
95 years ago, more or less, on June 2nd, 1925, the first baseman for the New York Yankees, Wally Pipp, went to his manager and he asked for the day off because he had a headache. His request was granted, and he was replaced in the lineup that day by a rookie named Lou Gehrig. Gehrig didn't waste his opportunity. He went on to play in 2,130 consecutive Major League Baseball games, setting a record that stood until the 1990s. And Pipp never got his job back. As some of you know, I was supposed to speak at last year's graduation, but I had to go to my manager, Chris Guerin, and ask for a day off because of a medical issue. And so at the last minute, Greg Angley took my place. And I remember sitting in the gym last year, listening to Greg speak, and listening to the students clap twice and cheer, and thinking to myself, man, I just got pipped. Every senior class for the foreseeable future is going to want Greg Angley to speak, and I don't blame them. I threw away my shot. So I would like to start my speech by thanking Greg for filling in for me and for doing such a great job last year. And I'd also like to thank the administration for making Greg ineligible to speak 2 years in a row. And lastly, I would like to thank the senior class for giving me what Wally Pipp never got, a second chance. So 2020 has been awful. It's been awful for you, it's been awful for the country, and it's been awful for the world. But as Eleanor Roosevelt once said, it is more intelligent to hope than to fear, to try than to not try. So I'm going to try to give you a speech that is hopeful, because hope is something we need a lot more of right now. And the message I want to leave you with today is that progress is possible. 30 years ago, more or less, I graduated from high school. And I'm embarrassed to say that I remember almost nothing about the ceremony. I have a vague memory of my friend Patrick Kirksey doing a backflip after receiving his diploma, but that's about it. I don't remember my name being called. If there were speakers, I don't remember who they were or what they said. But I do remember what the world was like way back in 1986. Cell phones did not exist. There was no internet. And social influencer was not a job that one could aspire to. I'm still not sure exactly what a social influencer is or what a social influencer does, but it's apparently a thing, and Hallie Spate is apparently really good at it. But the world of 1986 was also different in other ways, and in many areas, we have made so much progress. For example, in 1986, when I graduated, 40% of the world's population lived in extreme poverty. Today, that's down from 40% to 10%, and that's progress. In 1986, the average global life expectancy was about 64 years. Today, it's up to 73. That's progress. And in 1986, there were approximately 13 million reported crimes in the US. By 2018, that number had dropped to about 8.5 million. That's a decrease in the American crime rate of almost 35% in 30 years. That's progress. I could stand here and read statistics like this all day, and I won't, because you have places to go and you've got things to do. But if you're interested, many of these statistics and many of the ideas from this part of my speech can be found in a book called Factfulness, which was written by a global health scientist named Hans Rosling. I encourage you to pick it up. Now, to be clear, I'm not trying to convince you that everything is awesome. Look around you. You know as well as I do that everything is not awesome. There are so many areas where change is so desperately needed, both in our community and in the wider world. Rather, I highlighted those statistics to show you that if you work for it, progress is possible. So don't lose faith, class of 2020. Don't lose faith. Now, the positive changes that I cited didn't just happen. They happened because a lot of good people like you worked really hard to make them happen. And these changes don't happen overnight. Changes rarely do. If you put your money in the bank at 3% interest, at the end of a year, your account won't look much different than it did when you started. But after 24 years, your money will have doubled. Gradual progress can be easy to miss, but slow change is not no change. And as Martin Luther King Jr. put it, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. So progress is possible. It can be frustratingly slow, but it is possible. But how do we make progress happen? How do we make sure that when your kids graduate in 2050, some dusty old history teacher can stand up at the Cape Henry graduation and point out all the progress that's been made since 2020? I can't answer those questions for you. You're going to have to figure them out on your own. But I will remind you of some values that we hope you have learned here at Cape Henry that you should hold on to as you make your way. Value number 1, scholarship. You're going to college to socialize, make new friends, and have some fun. And all of those things are incredibly important. But you're also going to college to learn in a more traditional sense. And the more you learn, the more good you can do. In 1928, for example, a scientist named Alexander Fleming was working in his lab when he discovered a mold that killed bacteria. Without meaning to, he had discovered the world's first antibiotic. It was later given the name penicillin and has been estimated to have saved hundreds of millions of lives. We're not all going to be Alexander Fleming and save millions of lives, but scholarship can lead to progress. So when you go to college, go learn something. Value number 2, integrity. Those of you who took my comparative government class know this story already. It's from a book called Geography of Bliss, and it's about a country called Moldova. I've never been to Moldova, nor have I ever met anyone from Moldova. But studies consistently show that Moldovans are some of the unhappiest people in the world. Moldova has not been through war or famine, and the people, while not wealthy, are not desperately poor. And yet they are some of the unhappiest people in the world. There are a lot of reasons for this, but one big reason is a lack of integrity. Many of the doctors there never went to medical school. They bought their degrees online. To win your case in court, you have to pay off the judge. As a result, Moldovans don't trust each other. And if you're sick, but you can't trust that your doctor actually has a medical degree, life is pretty miserable for everybody. Value 3, community. All of you are part of the Cape Henry community and will continue to be forever. Cape Henry is not a perfect community. There is no such thing as a perfect community. Perfect communities do not exist. And we at Cape Henry have a lot of growing left to do. But there are times when we can be a very good community. When Carter Atherton and Rachel Moore put together a video for Mason Beers with shout-outs from the actual Brandon Wheat Kings, that's the best of who we are. When Rachel Siphon cleans up the bleachers after a basketball game, so the cleaning crew doesn't have to, that's the best of who we are. When Olivia Tucker and her friends collect pajamas at Christmas, and Trevor Kidd helps an injured opponent off the field. When Sammy Logan organizes cabaret, and Robin Judge organizes the Battle of the Bands, and everyone shows up to perform and, more importantly, cheer each other on, that's the best of who we are. So when you get to college, I encourage you to make your new community better in the same way that so many of you have made this community better. And remember that if you assume the best about people, you usually get it. Finally, value 4, and this is the big one, opportunity. The world is yours to make now, so go make it what you want it to be. Here's your chance, and don't throw away your shot. Be Lou Gehrig, not Wally Pipp. And if you ever find yourself down and not sure of whether to even try, remember the words of hockey great Wayne Gretzky, the leading scorer in the history of the NHL, who once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." And if you try, and then you find yourself frustrated when it doesn't turn out the way you wanted right away, remember the words of our friend Jack Effner, who likes to say, "Just keep chipping away." And if you remember nothing else from this speech, just as I remember nothing about my graduation, remember the words of the radio host Garrison Keillor, who closed his show each morning by saying, "Be well, do good work, and keep in touch. Thank you. I would now like to invite Dr. Guerin and Mr. Tom Atherton to the podium for the awarding of the diplomas.
Thank you, Mr. McGraw. Graduates, this is what you've been waiting for since the end of May. We have ushers in the parking lot who are going to help you. So just again, a little direction here, because this is different. So we have ushers in the parking lot who are going to help you to know when to exit your vehicle. And they're going to direct you to our socially distanced line here. Please wear your mask at all times when you're outside of the car. I appreciate your cooperation with that. You will approach the stage from this side over here, the side with the CHC, with the CHC sail over there. Mr. Horgan will call your name. You will walk across the stage. Mr. Atherton, the chair of our board, will present you with your diploma by placing it on the stand in front of him, and then you will take it. You will be directed to then exit the stage on that side, and you'll proceed along a nice path of plants that we have here in order to take your official photograph at the Compass Rose in front of the school and the Congratulations Graduate sign. I'll be waiting for you there. So now, Mr. Atherton, I have the honor of presenting the Cape Henry Collegiate Class of 2020. The diploma today signifies that they have met the prescribed course of study. They have been examined by our faculty. And on behalf of that faculty, I now today recommend them for graduation.
"19 years. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the recommendation of the head of school. On behalf of and with the authority of the Board of Trustees, operating under the statutes of the Commonwealth of Virginia, I hereby declare that this senior class, individually and collectively, are graduates of Cape Henry Collegiate, August 5, 2020.
Eliza Naru Adams. Simon Cameron Altmeyer. Alexandra Grace Angelo. Carter Meyer Atherton. Grayson Riley Barnes. Congrats. Kiera Marie Baxter. Good job, Kiera. Riley Emerson Beers. Justin Robert Belote. Sarah Jessica Blaze. Marco Peter Benedetto. That was good. Catherine Elizabeth Bouch. That's Katie.
Congratulations.
Sarah Catherine Bram. Congrats, Sarah.
Congrats,
Not able to join us on the stage today, George Walter Burns IV. Wyatt Davis Cake. Robert Bruce Campbell. Lane Michael Carlson. Not able to join us on the stage today, Langying Chen. Not able to join us on the stage today, Yanyu Chen. Eric Joshua Clark. That's Eric. Landon Theodore Clay. Landon, congrats. Christopher James Clunan. Addison K. Cox. That's Addie. William Mitchell Cuthrell IV. Congrats.
Good job, mate. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Not able to join us on the stage today, McKenna Ann de Torres. Caroline Elizabeth Dixon. Robert Barataran Escalera III. Not able to join us on the stage today, Connor Peter Garrison. Not able to join us on the stage today, Gefai Gong. Allie Elizabeth Gordon. Not able to join us on the stage today, Samuel David Goshgarian. Not able to join us on the stage today, Tyler David Greason. Sierra Nicole Galuzian. Frank Maynard Gwaltney III. Dane Edward Hoggard. Dawson Chase Horvath. Congrats, Dawson. Nicholas Grant Hubbard. Ann Porter Hudgens. That's Ann Porter. Kevin Jang. Okay. Not able to join us on the stage today, Yuhan Carissa Jang. Trent Michael Jones. Not able to join us on the stage today, John Robert Kiner. Colby Pate Kassir. That's Colby. Trevor Stanley Kidd. That's Trev. Mikhail Karamshin. Not able to join us on the stage today, Sophie Alexandra Lane. Not able to join us on the stage today, Lizzie Liu. William David Longacre. Is that Will? Ava Lynn Maeger. Great job. Reese Dale Meyer. Joshua James Mickens. Brandon Lee Midget. Good job, Brandon. Rachel Kelly Moore. Barrett Leon Nichols. Good to see you. Nadia Azariah Norman. Hesden Naki. Brady Robert Old. See you, Brady. Binal Hiren Patel. Melena and Jeanette Rose Pulley. Not able to join us on the stage today, Yibo Kwan. Not able to join us on the stage today, Andrew Norlinger Rachels. Byron Scott Richards. Madeline Marie Ripa. Michael William Russo. Benjamin Bryce Schwantes. Jad Shaheen. Rachel Emily Siphon. Not able to join us on the stage today, Flynn Anthony Summers. Not able to join us on the stage today, Hallie Parker Spate. Samuel Carr Stanton. Stephanie Ann Strickland. Good job. Not able to join us on the stage today, Mingtong Shui. Abigail Riley Ark Trinidad. Ryan Olivia Easley Tucker. Matthew August Vanderwerf. Not able to join us on the stage today, Chen Kai Zhang. Not able to join us on the stage today, Ziyao Zhang. Congratulations to all of our graduates, and for me, thank you to our faculty, thank you to our students, their parents. We love you, and I'm glad we were able to be here today. Bring Dr. Guerin back to the stage. Warming up.
So, congratulations, class of 2020. And again, how will you not remember this unique graduation today? I want to thank you all for being here, and I wish you all the very, very best as you head off to college. I would be horribly remiss if I did not mention two things to you today. First, an incredible debt of gratitude to Mrs. Kim Johnson, who's hiding back here, who put this whole thing together. So the really funny thing is, it was actually all the way back in September that Kim Johnson and I were joking in her classroom, and we said, it was sometime around, actually, I think we're talking about the senior photo, and we were saying, you know, someday we want to do an outdoor graduation. We want it to be really like beachy and casual, and I'm not kidding you. So, sorry that we had that conversation. But an incredible thank you to her. I also want to make an announcement about our larger community, because there's a gentleman in our community that all of us know, and he means a tremendous amount to me, to this faculty and staff, and I know to all of you. And that's Mr. Robert Woodhouse, who's the head of safety and security on our campus. And for those of you who do not know, for several weeks, Robert has been battling the coronavirus, hospitalized with quite a bit of time in the ICU. Last night I received a phone call from Robert at about 7:30 letting me know that he was home. So let's hear some horns. I mean, some of you probably had Mr. Woodhouse as your teacher before you even became safety and security, so thrilled. As we're getting ready to leave today, our recessional is a little different. Our sheriff's deputies will assist you in exiting our parking lot today. I ask that all cars turn right, and the deputies will direct you all to turn right as you leave onto Mill Dam. That's going to help us in helping folks to leave. Again, congratulations to the class of 2020. Do well, do good, and we will see you soon. Thank you.